Hello dear students, welcome you all to Shri Jayendra Rank Zone classes. I am your friend and your mentor for the subject biology, and I will be taking the zoology section. So my dear students, we have started in the previous lectures phylum Chordata, and today we are going to discuss a very important subphylum Vertebrata, and in that too we are going to discuss about Gnathostomata, right? So basically we have started subphylum Vertebrata, and in subphylum Vertebrata there were two parts. One is Agnatha and the second one is Gnathostomata. Then Agnatha is further divided into Ostracodermy and Cyclostomata, which has been discussed in the previous class, and now we are going to start with Gnathostomes or Gnathostomata. So Gnathostomata, it is classified into two superclasses. There are two superclasses on the basis of locomotory organs, respiratory organs and heart. So on the basis of locomotory organs, respiratory organs and heart, they are basically divided into two superclasses. One is the fishes, means superclass Pisces, and the second one is Tetrapoda, which includes amphibians, reptiles, mammals. Okay, so the superclass, it includes Pisces and Tetrapoda, right? Now coming to next, the superclass Pisces. Superclass Pisces, Devonian period is called as the golden period of fishes, because at that time a planet Earth is maximally inhabited by fishes, means water or aquatic organisms only. So Devonian period is a basically golden period of fishes. True fishes constitute this superclass. Class Pisces, it includes true fishes. Aquatic habitats found in both freshwater and marine water. They live in both freshwater and marine water. Body is long, boat shaped, streamlined. Body is long, it is boat shaped and it is streamlined. Okay, body is streamlined and well differentiated head, trunk and tail. The body is basically differentiated well into head, trunk and tail. It is streamlined, okay, streamlined so that it can easily penetrate the layers of water. Streamlined because it can easily penetrate the layers of water. It is boat shaped. It is well differentiated into head, trunk and tail, and without neck. No neck. Without neck. There are slime glands. The skin is having slime glands. Body has dermal scales. Body is having dermal scales, means scales on the skin, also known as dermal scales. Body is having slime glands. Exceptions: catfish, torpedo, Velagonia. Fish are without scales. So you have to remember that catfish, torpedo and Velagonia, they don't have scales. So CTW, catfish, torpedo and Velagonia, they don't have scales. Okay, in the true characters of true fish, the scales should be present on the body. The body is having the slime glands so that it can easily lubricate or it can make them moist. Paired fins is used for swimming. Fins are paired and it is used for swimming. Example: pectoral fins and pelvic fins. Okay, so these fins are paired, pectoral fins and pelvic fins. There are unpaired fins as well. There are unpaired fins as well present on the body, known as mid dorsal fin, which is unpaired, and caudal fin. Okay. So if I'll make a diagram, the fin which is present at the back, okay, this is the caudal fin which is unpaired. Sorry. Then they have a pectoral fin and a pelvic fin. Pectoral fin and pelvic fin, this is pectoral, this is pelvic. Both are paired, this is pectoral. And then mid dorsal fin, they may have mid dorsal fin, which is unpaired. So you have to remember, the unpaired fins are the mid dorsal and caudal, and the paired fins are pectoral and pelvic. Teeth are acrodont type. Okay, types of teeth: acrodont, thecodont, and pleurodont. So acrodont teeth means without bony socket. Without bony socket. Teeth is not embedded inside bony socket, and that is why it is known as what? Acrodont type. Teeth is just embedded in a soft tissue. The alveolar ridge means, suppose this is the alveolar ridge, and this ridge is having only the tooth. So basically tooth, they are arranged on the alveolar ridge. Okay, means the gums, right? So tooth or teeth, they are arranged on the gums only. There is no bone which is basically, having a socket in which the tooth is arranged. So the teeth type is acrodont type. Presence of internal ear is present, but ossicles and tympanum are absent. Internal ear is present, but ossicles and tympanum are absent. There are no ossicles, no tympanum. Respiration is through gills, as it is a true fish. 4 to 7 pairs of true gills are there, and gills are covered by operculum. Okay, this is also a marker of a true fish, that gills, they are covered by operculum. There is a unidirectional blood flow with two-chambered heart. Heart is two-chambered. Okay, and this heart is known as what? Venous heart, because of the presence of sinus venosus, as it is impure blood. It is having impure blood. Circulatory system has sinus venosus. Renal and hepatic portal systems are also present. Renal and hepatic portal systems are also present. So you can see teeth are acrodont type. Okay, without bony socket. Okay, just attached to the fleshy structure known as alveolar ridge. Presence of internal ear, but ossicles and tympanum are absent. Respiration is through gills. 4 to 7 pairs of gills are present, which are naked or may have cover with operculum. Unidirectional blood flow with two-chambered heart. Heart is known as what? Venous heart, because oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, it get mixed. Okay. Circulatory system is having sinus venosus, which basically further takes part of SA node in mammals. Okay, takes or modified into the SA node. Then the renal and hepatic portal system are also present. Bones or cartilage make the endoskeleton. Either they are cartilaginous fishes or they are bony fishes. So bones or cartilage, they make the endoskeleton. Vertebrate or vertebrae in fishes is of amphicoelous. There are different types of vertebrae. Okay, vertebrae in fishes are amphicoelous type. Okay, so amphicoelous type of vertebrae is present in case of fishes, which has concave centrum. At the last of the moment we will starting with the reptilians, okay, or amphibians. So I will tell you definitely I'll tell you the different types of vertebrae with the help of diagram. Okay, so vertebrae, just remember right now that vertebrae in fishes is of amphicoelous type. Okay, then the amphicoelous type of vertebrae basically having a concave centrum. Concave centrum means It is, I'll show you, I'll just show you. Okay, just give me a minute. If I am having a diagram, I'll show you. Yeah. So you can see the amphicoelous type of vertebrae. This is the amphicoelous type of vertebrae. It is having a concavity. This is the bony centrum which is having a concavity. Okay, and that is why the name is given amphicoelous, right? So they have a amphicoelous type of vertebrae, or the vertebral development in fishes is amphicoelous, which is having a concave centrum at both the surfaces, this side and this side as well. Both are having concave centrum, right? Now moving previously to our slides. So they have concave centrum at both the surfaces. One occipital condyle, which basically helps to rest the head region. Okay, mean the occipital condyle, it basically going to rest on the atlas vertebrae. Okay, so this occipital condyle, one occipital condyle is present. It is present in the skull of fishes. We do have occipital condyle. Okay, thus the skull is called monocondylar. Okay, as they are having only one occipital condyle, and that is why they are known as what? Monocondylar type. So what are the different terms you have to remember? That they have only one occipital condyle, that's why they are known as what? Monocondylar. The vertebrae development is amphicoelous type, means they are having a centrum cavity, okay, on the both sides of vertebrae. Then they may have the endoskeleton made up of cartilage or bone. The heart is venous type, means it is having both oxygenated and deoxygenated blood mixed. Okay, circulatory system is having sinus venosus. Okay, they have renal and hepatic portal system too. Teeth are acrodont type. Okay, teeth, they are acrodont type. Presence of internal ear is there, but ossicles or tympanum are absent. Presence of internal ear is there, but ossicles or tympanum are absent. Okay, they have paired fins and unpaired fins both. Paired fins are pectoral and pelvic, and unpaired fins are caudal and mid dorsal fin. Okay, scales are not present in catfish, torpedo and Velagonia. Okay, the scales are absent. Understood? Is it clear? Now coming to next, Pisces. So now Pisces means the fishes right. So fishes, they do have cranial nerves, the nerves which basically emerge from the cranium, okay, I mean head, and they supply to the head and neck region. Okay, so they have cranial nerves. Fishes, they have cranial nerves, and they are present in 10 pairs of cranial nerves. Body has lateral line receptor system. Body is it is very important point. They have lateral line receptor system with many receptor organs to detect vibrations. Like for example, they have streamlined body. So along with scales, body is having lateral lines running parallel to the axis, which act as a receptor. Okay, and these receptors are known as what? Rheoreceptors. They are known as what? Rheoreceptors. Okay, and also help to detect vibrations and electric field. So cranial nerves, 10 pairs of cranial nerves. These nerves emerge from brain and basically supply the head and neck region. Okay, they have lateral line receptor system with many receptor organs to detect vibrations. Okay, and the rheoreceptor, and also they have rheoreceptors. Okay, which basically to detect the vibrations and electric field. Kidneys are mesonephric. There are 3 types of kidneys: pronephric, mesonephric and metanephric. Okay, so kidneys, they are mesonephric kidneys. Mesonephric kidneys mean excretion is without urinary bladder. There is no urinary bladder. There is no urinary bladder, and the excretory waste is on the different classes. Okay, or different types, the excretory waste. Okay, because of the production of different types of excretory waste, they are classified. Okay, so kidney are mesonephric. They are mesonephric type of kidneys, and excretion is without urinary bladder. Cartilaginous fishes, they excrete urea. Marine bony fishes, they excrete trimethylamine oxide, TMAO, trimethylamine oxide, or TMO. So cartilaginous fishes, they excrete urea, and the marine fishes, bony fishes, they excrete trimethylamine oxide, and freshwater fishes, they excrete ammonia. So freshwater fishes, they excrete ammonia, cartilaginous fishes, they excrete urea, and the marine bony fishes, they excrete trimethylamine oxide. Right? Fishes are unisexual. They are unisexual. Fertilization can be either internal or external. Metamorphosis is direct without larval stage. There is no larval stage. Means direct development. They are cold-blooded, means poikilothermals. Their body temperature can vary according to the body temperature of external environment. Exceptions are tuna fish, swordfish, which are endothermic. I'll explain further what do you mean by endothermic. Okay. So they are cold-blooded. Almost all of them are cold-blooded poikilothermals. They can change their temperature according to the requirement. Exceptions: tuna fish and swordfish, which are endothermic fishes. Small fishes, bony fishes, are called fry or hatchling. Small bony fishes are given a distinct category, that is fry or hatchling. Okay, understood? Fishes migrate in a particular season. Yeah, there is a very important movement of the fishes for the breeding, for the reproduction, for laying eggs. Okay, and that season basically helps them to move, helps them to adapt to different environment. Okay, so fishes, they migrate in a particular season. Catadromous migration from fresh water to marine water. They are freshwater fishes, but they go to marine water for laying eggs, for swanning, and for sexual reproduction, breeding. Okay, so catadromous migration, it basically means what? They move from fresh water to marine water for spanning and for laying eggs. Okay, example is anguilla. Anadromous migration from marine water to fresh water. Okay, anadromous migration, they basically comes from marine water, okay, to fresh water. Okay, they move to fresh water from marine water. Examples are salmon and hilsa. So salmon and hilsa, they move from marine water to fresh water for having, breeding is to be done, laying eggs. And anguilla is an example of catadromous, that is fresh water to marine water. Okay, superclass species classified into three classes: placodermi, chondrioctes, osteichthyes. Now fishes superclass further divided into three classes: placodermi, chondrioctes, osteichthyes. Right? So what are the different points you have to remember? They have 10 pairs of cranial nerves. They have lateral line receptor system, okay, with many receptor organs to detect vibrations. Rheoreceptors, known as rheoreceptors, also help to detect the electric field. Kidneys are mesonephric and excretion is without urinary bladder. Cartilaginous fishes excrete urea. Freshwater fishes, they excrete ammonia, and marine bony fishes excrete trimethylamine oxide. Fishes are unisexual. Fishes can lay, the fertilization can be both internal and external, and metamorphosis is always direct. Okay, they are cold-blooded and poikilothermals. Exceptions are tuna fish, swordfish, which are endothermic in nature. Small bony fishes are known as what? Fry or hatchling. Fish migrate in particular season: catadromous, anadromous. Catadromous means moving from fresh water to marine water, anguilla, and anadromous means moving to marine water from fresh water to from marine water. Okay, fresh water from marine water. Okay, superclass are further classified into placodermi, chondrioctes, and osteichthyes. Right? Now coming to next, There are some important facts. Then we'll start with different classes. Petromyzon. Petromyzon, though it is marine living, but go to fresh water for spawning. Okay, mean for laying eggs. So means it is anadromous. Means Petromyzon, though it is marine and it goes to fresh water for spawning. Okay, means anadromous. After spawning, within a few days it die. Okay, it's very important. Petromyzon, okay, means though they are marine, they go to fresh water for spawning, and after spawning they will die. Larva Aminochaetae is hatched out of the eggs in about 14 to 21 days. The eggs produced, they come up with larva Aminochaetae, okay, which produce within 14 to 21 days, okay, when the eggs they hatch within 14 to 21 days, and the aminochaetae larva is present. Okay, aminochaetae larva comes out. Understood? The larval period may prolong. It may prolong from 3 to 7 years. The larva, it can remain viable. It can remain into existence for 3 to 7 years. Okay. So larvae aminochaetae is seen. I mean, it is a larva of Petromyzon only. Okay. So it comes out of the egg after 21 days, and larval period may prolong from 3 to 7 years. Aminochaetae is considered to be a connecting link between Amphioxus and cyclostomes. Okay, mean aminochaetae, it basically helps to connect cephalochordata and cyclostomata. Okay, helps to connect cephalochordata and cyclostomata. Right? Lingual cartilage in the tongue is also a part of skeleton that supports it. Mean to support tongue, we have the mandible, means the lower jaw bone, but here to support tongue there is a lingual cartilage, right? Now next is typhlosole is a fold of epithelium in the intestine. Typhlosole, it is present as a fold of epithelium inside the intestine. It prevents the rapid flow of food. It prevents the rapid flow of food in the intestine and increase is the absorptive area. So typhlosole is a fold of epithelium which is present in the intestine. It prevents the rapid flow, okay, of food in the intestine and increases the absorptive surface area, so that food can, you know, it can be stopped for a particular moment, and then the nutrients can be absorbed from it. Okay, it also increases the absorptive surface area. So Petromyzon, the larva is aminochaetae. Petromyzon, okay. Lamprey, also known as lamprey, okay, it is considered as a living fossil, as we have discussed in the previous slides as well. Okay, it is though marine but goes to fresh water for spawning. Okay, example, it shows anadromous behavior. Okay, mean marine to fresh water. After spawning it die. The eggs, they come up with the aminochaetae larva in 14 to 21 days. The larva may prolong to, may remain into the larval form from 3 to 7 years. Aminochaetae is considered to be a connecting link between cephalochordates and cyclostomes. Lingual cartilage in the tongue is also a part of skeleton that supports, okay, means tongue. Then typhlosole is a fold of epithelium in the intestine. It prevents the rapid flow of the intestine and increases the absorptive surface area. Okay, so I hope, is this clear? So now we are going to, we have covered the general features of gnathostomes, we have covered the general features of Pisces. Now we are going to discuss about different classes. Okay, class A, placodermy. Okay, so class A, placodermy, they include mainly extinct fishes. The fishes which are the part of this class, they are extinct fishes, means the fossil fish, which are included, that were the freshwater or true fishes. They were the freshwater or true fishes which lived from. Okay, so extinct fishes, placodermy, it includes extinct fishes or the fossil fish, okay, are included in this category, and they are mainly the first freshwater true fishes. Okay, so placodermy, the members, they are extinct now, they are fossil fish. Okay, they actually have the, they are considered to be the first freshwater fish, okay, which lived from. Now Devonian period to Permian period. they actually lived from Devonian period to Permian period. Devonian period is considered to be the golden period of fishes. Golden period of fishes. To Permian period. Their body and bony plates, the body and the bony plates are covered, and the cover is known as what? Armored fishes. And because of this cover, they are known as what? Armored fishes. Their body and their body is covered with a bony plate. Okay, that is why it is known as what? Armored fish. Okay. Example: Climatis. So Climatis is the first jawed fish. Okay, Climatis is the first jaw fish. Okay, also known as Dinictius. Okay, Dinictius. Okay, having the first jaw, so it is also known as Dinictius. Okay, so Climatis is considered to be the first jaw fish, also known as Dinictius. They actually covered a very long period of from Devonian period to Permian period. Okay, the body is covered with a hard bony plates known as, that's why they are known as what? Or given in title as armor plates. Climatis, the first the first jawfish, or also known as Dinictius. Types of caudal fin. Caudal fin, there are following types, and the term will come again and again and actually get you disturbed. Okay, the first is diphycircle and also or protocircle. Diphycircle or protocircle means most primitive kind of tail fin, means caudal fin, means tail fin. The tail is symmetrical both externally and internally, as in protocircle. Protocircle mein what happens? The tail is symmetrical both externally as well as internally, but it is secondary symmetrical. Secondary symmetrical means it is not having, you know, the primary symmetry, it is having the secondary symmetry. So diphycircle or protocircle, it simply means what? They have most primitive kind of tail fin. Okay, the tail is symmetrical but both externally as well as internally, but the type of symmetry is secondary. Okay, so it is one of the types, diphycircle. Now next is heterocircle or hypocircle. Epicaudal and hypocaudal lobes are of unequal size. Means, for example, if this is the caudal fin, the epicaudal means the upper one is more and the lower one is less. So it will give the appearance like this. That this one is large, big, and this one is small. Okay. So epicaudal and hypocaudal lobes are of unequal sizes. So it becomes hypocircle or heterocircle tail. Then homocircle means identical lobes. Identical lobes. Identical lobes. Homocircle. Externally segmented and internally asymmetrical. They are considered to be externally symmetrical. बाहर से देखने में to look from outside they look symmetrical, but actually internally they are insymmetrical or asymmetrical. Endothermic fishes. Although most fishes are ectothermic, a few fishes such as blue fish tuna and swordfish are able to maintain a body temperature higher than the temperature of the water that surrounds them. Genetic studies of these endotherms have revealed that the ability to maintain high body temperature give these fishes an adaptive advantage of allowing them to hunt in much colder waters than their competitors. Okay. Mean endothermic fishes are the fishes, they are having an inherent property of maintain, so that they can maintain their body temperature apart from the other fishes which are poikilothermals, means cold-blooded. Okay. According to the different studies, especially the genetic studies, they reveal that these endotherms, they can maintain their body temperature. Okay, and it becomes a very important adaptive factor for these fishes, allowing them to hunt in much colder waters than their competitors. Okay. Fish take out of water dies. Why? Because the gill filaments, they get stuck. Okay, I mean they basically adhere to each other when taken out of water, and thereby reducing the surface area. Surface area, that's why the rate of diffusion will decrease. So placodermi, they are extinct, they are fossils, and they are considered the first freshwater fishes which lived in. They extended from Devonian period to Permian period. They have hard bony plates known as armored fishes. Climatis is the first jawed fish known as Dinichthyes. Okay, types of caudal fin: diphycercal, also known as protocircle, and heterocircle, also known as hypocircle. So diphycercal, also known as protocircle, it is the most primitive kind of tail fin. The tail is symmetrical, okay, both externally and internally as in protocircle, but it is of secondary symmetrical type. Okay, heterocircle or hypocircle tail, it is epicaudal or hypocaudal of unequal sizes, heterocircle or hypocircle. Then homocircle, lobes are identical. So homocircle and heterocircle, one of the category, and the other category is diphycercle. Okay. So homocircle means identical lobes, externally symmetrical and internally asymmetrical. Then endothermic fish, which can maintain the body temperature according to the requirement, according to the they don't have to change their body temperature. Okay, they maintain their body temperature. Okay, and the last is fishes, they die due to oxygen, lack of oxygen. Okay, why? Because the gill filaments, they stick to each other and they further reduce the surface area. So my dear students, I will be starting the class B and class C, that is osteo and chondroichthyes and osteoichthyes, sorry. Okay, in the next coming video. Till then, I hope you are getting everything. Okay, still you can just put your doubts anytime. Till then, bye bye, take care, stay safe everyone.